Right now, tonight, on the WHAS11 night team, the tension over the merger of two high schools increases in Nelson County.
One of them is messing around with public education. To me, it's a sacred profession.
The sudden resignation from the Nelson County School Board. You'll hear from the man who resigned and why. And then, face-to-face with the residents. Metro Council member Anthony Piagentini holding this first public meeting since being found guilty on serious ethics charges. Plus,
her care for kids and care for her schools is second to none.
Honoring former JCPS chairwoman Diane Porter, who resigned today fighting serious health issues. Her life has been JCPS. Right now on the WHAS 11 night team. More drama in Bardstown over the proposed merger of two high schools, and we are back in Nelson County covering it all here on the WHAS 11 night team. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt. A school board member suddenly resigns. He's one of two board members who voted against that merger plan. You're going to hear from him tonight. WHAS 11 night team's Alex Dieterer and Elijah McKenzie show us the tense moments before and after the quick 5-minute meeting.
This is the walk of shame.
Tense moments as students.
Thomas Nelson has helped me so much from the year and a half that I've been there.
Parents.
We show up to work to meet the needs of our kids, and we need people on the board that's going to stand behind us, and they're going to take care of our kids too.
And staff line the front of the Nelson County Central Office ahead of the special called meeting for the Board of Education to vote on the resignation of board member Damon Jackie.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Sorry, Damon. No. Okay, with that being said, motion passed.
When it came time for the board members to vote on accepting Damon Jackie's resignation from the board, it was a 3-1 vote in favor of his resignation. The only nay was from Tracy Bowling. Bowling and Jackie were the two who originally voted nay to the plan that included the merger of the high schools. Jackie tells us he chose to resign when he felt other board members were not standing up for the public education system. To him, that includes the vote to merge the two Nelson County high schools.
But whenever I started seeing that there were certain board members that were doing things that make my head kind of scratch and go, that doesn't seem right. And then something else happens. And then we've got 3 board members that have apparently refused to listen to the overwhelming majority of the community on this topic of the one high school.
Parents are sad to see him go, but understand.
I understand why Mr. Jackie resigned, because he sees the corruption in the board that is very obvious to anyone who's reached out to the board.
Those against the merger.
So it's those connections that these students really need to have. And that's something that I think we're starting to hear the community say. One high school is not going to do that.
Say experiences will be taken away from students and athletes like Lily.
I feel like I would not have any opportunity, very little, if we combine the schools.
The other board members left without addressing the merger, leaving students and families with questions and concerns for the high school's future. In Nelson County, Alex Dieterer, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
The school board can start the selection process for new board members on November 22nd and must choose a new member no later than December 22nd. By the way, they did not discuss that big merger at tonight's meeting, and the next full school board meeting is going to be held on November 14th. Right now, here new on the night team, the JCPS Board of Education tonight applauding Chairwoman Diane Porter, who resigned this morning, effective immediately. In a letter to the board, she was not at the meeting tonight. She attributes a chronic illness as her reason for stepping down. Porter was not there, but board members share their gratitude for her dedication.
The stability her leadership has given us as a board for all these years, the heart that she has poured into the work that she has done, is the knowledge and experience that she brought to this role, I just think is unmatched.
Porter is a retired administrator from JCPS and spent 13 years on the school board. During that time, she pushed for early childhood education and the W.E.B. Du Bois Academy and the Grace James Academy of Excellence to improve equity and inclusiveness for all students.
I really do believe this. I don't know if there is anyone in the history of JCPS who, the combination of years and care for kids, there's anyone that has more of that than Diane Porter.
The school board now has 60 days to fill Porter's vacancy. People who are interested will have to fill out an application. The board members will go through those applications and then select a replacement. Brooks Houck, charged in connection to the death of Crystal Rogers, is now asking a Nelson County court to dismiss the current judge who's assigned to his case. Houck is Rogers' former boyfriend. In the motion, Houck's attorney claims Judge Charles Sims has demonstrated bias towards Houck. He points to a 2017 custody case involving Houck's girlfriend unrelated to Houck. The motion includes an order from Sims in that case. He wrote, quote, "This court is simply astonished that she would want a relationship with a man who is the prime suspect in the disappearance and presumed death of his previous girlfriend," end quote. Attorneys say that statement proves the judge has had a hostile view of Houck since 2017. The motion also argues that Houck's $10 million bond is excessive and shows his inability to be impartial. Houck is expected to be back in court on February 8th. He has appealed the judge's ruling to keep that bond at $10 million. A home invasion turns into the shooting of a man by Louisville Metro police officers early this morning. The police chief, Jacqueline Gwynn Villaruel, says officers initially responded to 25th and Garland for a shot spotter report around 3:30. When they arrived, they heard additional shots being fired at the house. Moments later, Villaruel says officers saw a suspect coming out of a window with a gun, and then that led to a chase.
Officers gave verbal commands ordering the suspect to drop the gun. The suspect did not comply. Officers discharged their weapons, striking the subject several times.
The chief says officers started first aid and the man was taken to the hospital where he's in critical condition. We're told there is body camera video of the shooting, which will be released within 10 business days. That's according to the department's brand new policy on this. The man accused of hoarding dangerous chemicals in his house in Highview is now out tonight on bond. Mark Hibble owns the house on Applegate Lane that the EPA is slowly demolishing at the moment. He's also accused of swatting right in the home next door that didn't belong to him. Court documents show Hibble posted a $10,000 bond yesterday on charges of burglary and wanton endangerment. A judge previously had said, though, that Hibble would have to go right into inpatient mental health treatment at Wellspring in Louisville if he was ever released. He's also been ordered to have no contact with chemicals or explosives. A Louisville Metro Council member and 2024 High School Teacher of the Year has been removed from the classroom. JCPS confirms that Kumar Rashad has been reassigned to non-instructional duties. Rashad is a math teacher at Breckenridge Metropolitan High School. He serves as a board member for the Jefferson County Teachers Association and the Kentucky Educators Association. We're still working to find out why he was reassigned. Rashad told WHAS11 News today he isn't going to comment until the matter is resolved. Happening new tonight, Metro Council member Anthony Piagentini face-to-face with residents of his East End district tonight for the first time since the Ethics Commission found him guilty and says he should be removed from office. Piagentini was accused of using his role to get a $40 million grant for the Louisville Healthcare CEO Council, which then immediately hired him. Tonight, he held a town hall for residents in District 19, that's Eastern Jefferson County in blue, as you can see on our map. WHAS 11 Night Team's Taylor Woods is here. She was talking with those who came ready with questions. Taylor, what'd you hear?
Well, Doug, Councilman Anthony Piagentini wouldn't answer our questions, but he did address his district publicly tonight. Concerned constituents came with questions regarding his role in the process. Some say they came out to learn more about what's going to happen moving forward.
Dozens of concerned constituents in District 19 came out to Councilman Anthony Piagentini's monthly town hall, this time to hear from him up close after being found guilty in his ethics trial. He addressed the situation and explained what has happened.
Because that was a legal process, I had to be very quiet during the process.
Piagentini encouraged constituents to read documents posted in his newsletter. He shared that he felt bad for District 19 and opened the floor for questions.
Now the process is completed. I could speak more publicly about it. I'm going to start that today. glad to answer questions about it today as well.
Constituents like LaTanya Barber came ready with their questions, telling us she asked him if he was still taking the six-figure job that got him in trouble with the Ethics Commission.
Are you going there now that they're not getting the $40 million?
Other District 19 residents chose not to comment on Piagentini's investigation with the Ethics Commission. However, they spoke highly of him, saying he's been doing his best to keep the community engaged about what's happening in the district.
We don't get the whole story, so it's hard to form an opinion.
Joyce Hamloth and her husband Wayne say they are proud of Piagentini's work within District 19.
He keeps the community informed and keeps us up to date what's happening in town. We appreciate that, and we're big supporters of him.
The Ethics Commission ruling that Piagentini should be removed from office. Barber agrees, saying Piagentini should face consequences.
As far as I see it, if he's unethical, he shouldn't be doing this, that, and the other.
For now, she and so many other constituents are waiting to see what will happen to their councilman.
And a spokesperson from Metro Council says council members will begin discussing next steps at caucus meetings later this week. In studio, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.